Hello, everybody. Tania Gustafson here, your nutritionist and fitness coach with Fit Nutrition. Thank you for joining with me here today on another episode of Fit Nutrition Podcast. So today, we're going to talk about, first of all, let me know where you're watching from. Okay, I just always love to know where everyone's tuning in from. And if you are watching live or on the replay, I love to know that too. I'm just going to, if you see me looking at other things, I'm just double checking and make sure that we are actually going live and that I can see the information that I have prepared for you. Okay, great. All right, here we go. So today we are going to talk about those times when you know that you should be doing something, but you don't. You choose something else, right? And you look back at that, even maybe while you're doing it. And you're like, what the heck am I doing? Why am I doing this? Or you look back and you go, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. That's not like me. I would never have made that choice. Or even if you've done it several times before, you're just like, it's not something that you want to do, but it's just something that, keeps happening. And that tends to happen. And we think about that a lot when it comes to dieting and foods that we think are bad or that we shouldn't be eating. And, we've talked a lot here about foods aren't good or bad, right? They're just either a protein, fat, or carb. And we learn how to put them together because food serves our body and it serves our soul. And we need both. But there are those times, and we know this, that there are foods that are have a healthier nutrient profile, right? There's just more nutrients in some than others. And there are definitely times when we go, oh my gosh, yeah, I just ate way too much of that. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know why I kept eating it. I didn't even really feel like I wanted it. It just wasn't something that I should be doing. And generally those things happen when life happens, right? So something happens to disrupt us from whatever it is that's going on in our life. It could be good. It could be not so good. It could be like really horrific, or it could be fantastic. Anything that causes a disruption in your daily life, your daily routine, life happens, right? Somebody could be getting married. There could be a new baby coming. Someone could be coming to stay with you to visit. Or maybe somebody lost their job, or somebody passed away, or your best friend had to move, or you had to move. There's all of these things that can happen. And there's an endless list, right? Just think about our daily lives. But when something like that happens and it knocks us upside the head a little bit for a loop, we tend to end up doing something that we react to, and we react instead of responding, right? So think about that time, we've all done it where, we got really mad or upset, or something's happened and our day's just gone sideways. And we just grab the first thing that's there on the counter or in the fridge, or we're out and we, grab that muffin at Starbucks or at Tim Hortons or wherever you are, and you eat that, or you grab that really syrupy, rich drink, Frappuccino with all the whipped cream, just because you deserve it. You're having a bad day and you just grab that and you're drinking it. And at the end, you're like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel very good. I ate so much and I shouldn't, why did I do that? Or, we've all seen the movies where the girl gets upset, she breaks up with her boyfriend, or they have a fight and she gets the tub of ice cream and she's just crying and she's eating the ice cream and she's like, I don't even want it, but she's eating the ice cream and she doesn't stop eating the ice cream. So why is that, right? All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about that, and what that is an amygdala attack. So think about that. This is a little bit of a mindset thing here today. So we talk a lot about food in here, but the food, the food's only as good as what your beliefs are as well too, because we know what we should be eating, but why aren't we doing it sometimes? That has to do with what's going on up here. Okay, so when we know what can happen, or what's going to happen, or what has happened, because it's happened to all of us up here, then we are better prepared, and we have the tools to head it off at the pass next time, or to recognize what's coming. And we can make a diversion and actually respond instead of react. Okay, so this is kind of it sort of wants you to react. So I'm just going to bring up a little graphic here. Actually, no, first I'm going to talk about it, and then I'll bring up a little bit of a graphic here so that you can see, and then we'll just go through it. So the amygdala, there's two parts of your brain that are part of this whole, oh, you should be doing this, but I didn't really want to do it, but I did anyway. Okay, there's those two that are having this little bit of an argument in here. Now, the hippocampus is that big chunk of your brain where it has, the, oh, I know what I should be doing, right? As a nutrition coach, I get a lot of people coming to me that say, I know what I should be doing. I honestly do. I just need someone to hold me accountable. I just need an accountability partner. Okay. The I know what I need to do is all stored in that hippocampus. Okay. The amygdala, the little smaller, little tiny guy, he's the one that takes over the amygdala attack, right? That's why we call it an amygdala attack. He's the one that attacks the hippocampus and overrides all of those things that that you should be doing. He's like, yeah, but you're not going to do it. You're going to do this. And it kind of grows in size, right? It's kind of like, do you ever remember the old Looney Tunes cartoon, right? With the, Bugs Bunny and Sylvester and all of those guys, right? There was the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? As it grows, right? The monster grows. Okay, so that's kind of the visual. Okay, think about that. It doesn't physically grow that big, but okay, just you got the idea, right? So hippocampus has got all the helpful stuff. H for helpful. Think about all the things I know that I should be doing. That's helpful. Amygdala, A for amygdala, A for attack. That's the one that's going to attack. Okay. So here's the little graphic that you can see. I'll just bring this up for you. Hang on one second. It's brightly colored. You don't have to worry about the prefrontal cortex for this talk, but this little image that I found. So as you can see, your hippocampus, this yellow part right here, right in the middle, kind of in the center there. It's quite a big chunk right in the middle. And that's the part, where we store all the things I know I should be doing. They're all stored right here, right there, safe and sound, right in the middle. And then right in the middle of that is your amygdala. So that's that little part that, when life happens and you think, oh, I just want to grab this, it goes, yeah, do it. Okay, you can have that. That's okay. Just go. And it grows and grows. And when we don't know that that's happening, we just kind of go with it, right? It's like when you break up with somebody or you have a fight with somebody and you talk to your friend about it and you're talking about it, but you're not really solving a problem. You ever seen those conversations or been a part of one of those conversations where, it's just each comment is feeding on the other and nothing really happens, but there's a whole lot of animosity happening because they're agreeing with you and you're just saying how bad everything was. And they're just saying, oh yeah, you have a right to be mad. And they're kind of fueling you on. That's what the amygdala is doing. Okay. It's fueling you on to override those things that you should be doing, where you could respond properly in a way that you're going to be happy later. And it's making you react like this and just keep going and going and going. And it's fueling that. Okay. So you get this little visual now. Here's this little guy. Sometimes those little guys cause a huge, big problem, right? They don't have to be physically very, very big to cause a whole lot of upset in your world. So now that you know that, interesting, right? So now that you have that bank of knowledge there, but you have a little instigator who's going to egg on that negative response, that negative reaction that's going to come, that wants you to take over and do those things that you're not going to be so happy with later. And then you kind of beat yourself up and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And then you feel guilty. And then a lot of times people, especially women, will then starve themselves because they've eaten all of those things. Like I'm talking to do with food here. This can apply to a lot of things, but we're going to apply it to our PFC and our creating health and healthy weight loss, right? So a lot of times then, because there was that happened, now moving forward for the rest of the day, or sometimes even a couple of days, that whole restrictive mindset takes over again. It's like, oh, okay, well, I've got to restrict. I've got to make up what I ate over here. I've got to restrict so that I can balance it all out again. Okay. Now we have to come back to, we know that doesn't work. Okay. We know that we can't, you can't be thinking of the, calories in, calories out, the deficit, the let's balance the scales over here. The only thing you need to balance is your blood sugar. All right. So, I'm going to bring that chart up again, and we're going to take a peekaboo at this one again, because this is where we need to be. So if you and to be fair, we don't knowingly let the amygdala take over. right? Not when we don't know what's happening. Now that you know what's happening, you can now head it off at the pass, because you're like, oh, okay, I reckon, ooh, that's what Tania was talking about. That's the amygdala attack. It's trying to take over, and it wants me to, and you find yourself reaching for things. And you're like, nope. Okay. What would I rather do instead? So if you can just stop and take a breath for a minute and just say, what would I rather do instead? You can make a better choice. But if you haven't, and now you have that mindset of like, oh my gosh, now I have to restrict so I can make up for all the stuff I ate over here. All you're doing is causing your blood sugar to drop down here, which burns muscle, makes your body hold on to fat. And then eventually, as soon as you eat something, that hunger is going to take over. You're going to eat at some point. You're probably going to eat too much. That blood sugar is going to spike, and you're going to store some fat. So all you've done here essentially is you saved the calorie amount. Sure, you can do the math on that and save the calorie amount, but what have you done to the balance inside your body? And what have you done physiologically to your body is a better question. Because we all know that all calories are not created equal. So the better thing to have to do is, okay, so you didn't recognize it was an amygdala attack. It attacked, you caved, your hippocampus got hijacked, the amygdala attacked, you ate all of the stuff that you thought you shouldn't, and now you're feeling, you're so bloated and I'm not so good, and hopefully you're not feeling guilty about that. Don't do that. In 3 hours is your chance to do better. Because with this lifestyle, it's every 3 hours, right? So in 3 hours, you can choose something that will stabilize your blood sugar so that you can get back on track quickly. And then the next time that something happens and life happens, and I say next time because you know what? There's a lot of things we can control in life, but we cannot control all the external stressors and things that come at us when life happens, right? We can't control a power outage. We can't control, somebody getting mad at us for something we didn't know we did. We can't control, if maybe there's a layoff at your company. You can't control, there's so many things we could go on and on and on. We just can't control those things. But we can, now that we know what triggers that to make us go and eat all those things as a response, right? As a reaction instead of a response. It's, amygdala attack. Okay, no, wait. That's what Tania said was going to happen. I remember that happening before. Right. Okay. Take a step back, take a deep breath. Just assess the situation where you are and just see, how would I like to react? And I challenge you right now, if that's happened to you before, I would challenge you just to think about that right now. If that were to happen tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, maybe it doesn't happen for a long time. What would I like to see myself do instead of what I did before? Because when you have a plan already there, that now becomes part of that, I know what to do, and you've thought about it and you've planned it. And so it's there. You're more likely, when you can catch that as an amygdala attack, you're more likely to now choose the better route because you've already made a plan for it. You've already made your escape route sort of thing. Okay. So you're thinking about that when there's an attack, you got to have an escape route. So plan your escape route. All right. So I would love to hear from you guys below. If you can think back and recognize when you have had an amygdala attack, when you've said, oh my gosh, I just know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not doing it. And I don't know why that's happening. It's happened before. It's happening again. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. There's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. You just didn't recognize that it was happening or what was happening. Okay. So drop that in the comments below if that's ever happened to you. And then were you able to work through that? If not, does this now help you? Does it give you some tools? Because, that's what I want to do here is help you. So if if this has been helpful for you, great. If you've had some other experience that is helpful as well, please drop that, because we want to share all great content with everyone here so that everybody can benefit from it, right? Okay, so that was just what I wanted to pop in here today. Not a really very long talk today, but I felt it was super, super important to get this out there because there's just so much guilt and shame sometimes associated with that, with eating all those things that we really are trying to avoid, and we were doing so well, and we celebrate all the good things. And then one thing happens, and it can really make you backslide. It can really tank your self-esteem and can really pull you down. And here's just another fun fact, that for every negative word, thought, incident, whatever that happens, that someone speaks to you or happens to you, or that, that takes place in your world, all of the negatives that come at you, you need between 12 and 20 positives to then write that, to get rid of that guilt, shame, I shoulda stuff that you've been talking down to yourself about. So when we know that, now we know, oh, okay. All right, it's not just me. These are things that actually happen to other people, not just me, right? And so they've happened to me before too. So now I'm sharing them with you, because I want you to be able to have the tools to get yourself out of that and to have an escape route, like we talked about. So hippocampus, it's the helpful spot. H for hippocampus, H for helpful, right? It's got all the things I know I should be doing. Plan your escape route and store it there. Okay. So then when life happens and you go to do a reaction instead of a response, and you start reaching for something, or you start doing something, and you're like, what the heck am I doing? Amygdala attack. It's trying to attack. It's trying to grow. It's trying to take over, trying to hijack the hippocampus. You can recognize it and go, nope, I am not going to let that happen to me again. I recognize this. I have an escape route plan, and I'm going to do this. Okay. So think about that. Plan your escape route. And if you want it, I'd love it if you would share that with everybody. So if you have an escape route that you have thought about what you'd like to do, and it can be very simple. It can be super simple, that I'm gonna grab a protein bar because it's in a crinkly wrapper, and it's going to give me that sensation of, oh yeah, I'm grabbing something that maybe is like a chocolate bar, but I'm really doing something good for my body. So you can kind of subvert that a little bit, or maybe whatever it happens to be for you. Maybe I'm going to go out for a run. Maybe I'm going to take the dog for a walk. Maybe I'm just going to have a really big glass of water and go sit in the sauna. Whatever it happens to be for you, plan your escape route so that you have these tools at your disposal, so that when life happens, then you've got the hacks and the escape route to get you through. So thanks for listening here today, you guys. Join me again next week, every Wednesday, 1 p.m. PST time, here in the group for Fit Nutrition Podcast. Thanks for watching. I love to see you all here next week.